Fast food.
You're looking at these films which have made huge impacts all over the world, from Sharkwater, Super Size Me, Blackfish to Bowling for Columbine. The power of film to affect change cannot be denied. TIFF is kicking off its 14th annual Human Rights Watch Film Festival. And Magali Simard joins us with more. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Truly important to get out and support these films and learn how do films, as the ones we just saw, affect change. They do. They can.
They sure do. I mean, it's a huge medium to attack certain topics. We all are very versed on certain levels around political, social issues. We read a lot of the news. We take in a lot of content online and on television, but we rarely take the time to really delve into one specific topic. In this case, we're going to be showing 8 titles, or 8 major topics from around the world, and it's through the lens of documentary filmmakers to really get to meet the people in certain regions of the world that we may not know about, or that we may know about, but get to truly get to the bottom of it, to see the people that are the agents of change and all that, and to also all watch it together and talk about it in a cinema room. On
various issues, social issues, political, environmental. So let's get started with this one. Apparently it's Egypt's answer to Jon Stewart, and it's called Tickling Giants.
Amazing, amazing movie. Very entertaining film too. It's about Bassem Youssef, who is indeed the Egyptian Jon Stewart, essentially. He quit his job during the Arab Spring. He was a surgeon, a heart surgeon, to become a full-time comedian. And his show started small but really took off, and he ended up having 30 million viewers, which is literally like 15 times more than The Daily Show got. Wow. Jon Stewart was his idol, and he kind of brought to a nation that really struggles with free speech an element of humor to treat of political topics, and kind of became a shining light in all that, in all the discussions. And you see how he ends up meeting like the American counterparts, and it's actually one of The Daily Show's ex-producer who directed this film.
Also another film that addresses women's rights in Pakistan, and how obviously there's much work to be done even in sports, and especially in sports. The film is called Girl Unbound.
Girl Unbound, amazing film that follows a young woman named Maria Torpakai, and she started playing sports at a very young age. Actually had to disguise as a young boy to be able to play the sport. She became extremely good at squash, and eventually had to reveal her identity to go on, because she was going to go into championships, and now represents Pakistan. Despite the political threats against her and her family and her safety, she has to travel the world kind of in a safe way.
She's so brave, sacrificing herself and her family.
It's an incredible story. She's absolutely unforgettable. And what's interesting is, as she kind of has to reveal her identity, she tries to question it herself, and whether having to hide herself created a part of her doubts, or whether it might be a real doubt that was, you know, born with.
Yeah. Let's take a look at We Can't Make the Same Mistake Twice, addressing issues here at home.
Here at home, incredible filmmaker, veteran Canadian filmmaker Alanis Obamsawin's latest film. This, I would say, is absolutely mandatory viewing for Canadians. It's about the fight to get Indigenous children equal rights as to every other kids in the country. It's about the court case. We see images of Cindy Blackstock, the incredible activist who literally never stops working on behalf of Indigenous kids. She is actually a national hero to me. I think everybody should watch this film. It's vital here.
And another one on your hot list is something called Black Code, which looks at the internet's effect on us as a society and globally.
Yeah, and we look really in this film at technology and how it truly can play into the very notion of democracy and freedom, and really play against it. It's a film that travels the world. We see images of Ron D. Bird from U of T, who wrote the book Black Code, that's now adapted in this documentary. It's one of the the film that really tackles tech in this lineup the most, and it's really about, you know, there's no reason to not know things anymore. It's all on the internet. But when a government can control what people say or do online, or observe what they do online, that's the danger that lies within all that technology.
It's so true. Now there's no excuse for ignorance. I mean, all we have to do is Google anything, any topic, and find both sides of the story, and really, you know, be our own truth sayers, and embrace what's available to us to affect change, as these films point out. And they sort of lead the charge, and that's why they're so important to see. Thank you for the time today. The Human Rights Watch Film Festival actually kicks off today until Thursday, April 6th at the TIFF Lightbox. Head on over to breakfasttelevision.ca for more such important work, and thank you for taking the time to share it with us.
Thank you.
Right now over to Kev.